Are you a vapor who's sick and tired of leaky fucking RTAs? We have a solution, possibly the only solution. A solution that can get you back on track. The Kylin Mini RTA by Vandy Vape. Less leaks, more flavor. What's going on here, guys? This just got out of hand fast. It's not that good. Is he pouring a bottle of the Kylin Mini? Welcome home.
What up, YouTube? Welcome in between two beards. I'm Justin, aka Dubb.
And as always, I'm Ryan.
Always. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Watch the credits. You'll find it interesting. Anyway, today we're doing a full review of the Kylin Mini RTA by Vandy Vape.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been wanting to review this for a while now. I've had mine for, I don't know, God, 2 months. This thing's been out for a minute.
I just got mine recently.
Yeah, we're super late to the game. We get that, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is not a mini version of the Kylin. I don't know why they went with Kylin Mini.
They could have called it something completely different because they have nothing in common, really.
Yeah, no.
In fact, calling this the Kylin Mini is like saying that the original Kylin is Rosie O'Donnell and the Kylin Mini is Mila Kunis. They're both brunettes. Like, that's all they have in common. Like, there's nothing else. One's good, one's not.
Right, yeah.
One leaks probably, the other one is nice and tight and good.
Anyway, we're going to stop wasting time and jump up close and take a look at this thing.
Get inside Kylin Mini.
We'll be right back. Alright guys, here's going to be a real quick up close with the Kylin Mini by Vandy Vape. This is obviously the single coil version. Here you have Vandy Vape's packaging that I'm not crazy about because once you break the seal, there's nothing holding it together. But anyway, when you get the tank out of the box, it's going to come with this 3 mil capacity straight glass on it. And then it's going to come with this 5 mil capacity bubble glass in the box. But obviously we have been using the 5 mil glass. So, yep, you're going to get your bag of spares. You've got the little screwdriver, hex key, spare O-rings. There's a 510 drip tip adapter. The screws on the deck out of the box are Phillips heads, and these are Allen keys, so that's what your Allen key is for. You have your Vandy Vape user's manual, your Vandy Vape quality certificate. You're going to get a black Delrin with these really weird ridges that are actually super comfortable in the mouth, 810 drip tip. And then you've got the Kylin itself. Now, I broke my bubble glass about 3 weeks after I got this tank, and ran into Vandy Vape at ECC in Detroit, and they had these My V Pro acrylic tanks. They're selling them, so I bought one of those. That's why it's kind of blue and it's frosted. It's not completely clear, but they didn't have any way of buying a spare glass, so that was my option if I wanted the bubble glass. So anyway, this is the standard drip tip that comes with the silver one. It's this really blue, nice blue. I stole this from my wife and gave her the red one that mine came with. So the black one comes with red, the silver one comes with blue, and then the other colors come with their own respective color. But this looked so good with my Hexome that I decided to steal it from her. So anyway, moving along. Up top here, you have a very easy, wide open kidney-shaped fill ports. This is compatible with your standard 810 drip tips. This O-ring that's in here holds this thing in here really, really tight. It is a standard 810 goon style drip tip, so your custom goon style drip tips should work in here no problem. The O-ring is in there and it is very, very tight, so just keep that in mind. But again, it does come with the 510 drip tip adapter in the box there. Moving down, you have your dual-sided airflow, and if you can see that in there, they still have that like peak block from the original Kylin that kind of blocks the airflow, so it doesn't go and swoosh around inside the base. You're only getting airflow from one side. You know, each air inlet is only letting air in on that side, which smooths out the airflow a lot. The O-ring on this guy is super, super tight on this one. It's not as bad on Dubb's silver one, but yeah, just keep that in mind. This thing is really hard. Once you set it there, it just is kind of, you know, you want to leave it there. But they did away with the clicking from the original Kylin, so that makes me very excited. And then down here, you've got Kylin and your serial number and Stefan Z's signature and all that. There is your very static, non-adjustable, very protruding 510 pin, so go nuts on your hybrid mech mods, I guess, if you like tanks on your mech mods. So anyway, get to the deck. All we got to do, unscrew this guy. Alright, I still had wicking juice in there, so I went ahead and cleaned that off. But there is that deck. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Kylin Mini kind of started this whole half-pipe deck design thing that a lot of people are utilizing right now, but I don't blame them because the way the airflow works is just awesome. So you do have your Phillips head screws right here for your posts, obviously. Now, one issue I do have, if you're using a wider coil, this is one of my aliens right here. When you put your leads in there and screw those down, it will twist them up a little bit. So keep that in mind. I kind of wish they would have went in from this side somehow, but regardless, and then you can see you've got your airflow just completely surrounding that coil, and it just makes the airflow so unbelievably smooth, and the flavor on this thing is amazing. But if you can see, the way I like to do this is I like to get that coil about as low to the deck as I possibly can without it touching anything. That just seems to be the best for flavor for me. But yeah, I didn't figure there was any need to pull this coil out of here and put a new coil in it, because all you got to do is clip your leads. And what I like to do is just set my coil where I want it on the outside, kind of see where it lines up with the bottom of the gold here, and then clip it there. And that seems to be the perfect place for that. But anyway, wicking this thing is super easy. You just want to basically get your wicks. I like to get them to where they just barely cover the top half of that screw. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw some wick in this guy, and yeah. Alright, now what I like to do as far as cutting this goes, the O-ring on the base here has kind of an L shape to it. I like to rest my scissors right in the crook of that L shape, and I cut it right there, just kind of a starting off point. And then I take my tweezers and I thin this guy out a little bit. And then that gives me a better idea of where I actually want to end up putting my coil there, or my cotton there. So right now that's still a little bit too much. So I'm going to go ahead and clip a little bit more of that off on both sides. Actually, that side's probably not bad. And then yeah, about right there is where I want that. If you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but right there's my screw. I like to come down just about halfway, just about down to the halfway point on that screw is where I like my cotton to sit. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of juice on here. And then once you get some juice on there, you kind of use that as a glue to get it to sit in those channels right where you want it. And bam, that's exactly what we're looking for right there. Now this is a 3mm inner diameter alien. I guarantee you could fit 3.5, maybe even a 4mm coil in here. The only reason I wouldn't go that big is just because of how much cotton you would have to use. It might choke that off a little bit, but regardless, I'm going to go ahead and get this guy thrown back together, and we'll get out and talk about it. We'll be right back.
Alright guys, we're back now. That was the up close of the Kylin Mini RTA by Vandy Vape.
Yeah, okay, so I was a big fan of the original Kylin. I was not, however...
Until...
yeah, I was not, however, a big fan of the leaking issue I had with the Kylin Mini. And before the internet explodes, you were wicking it wrong, you were wicking it wrong, you were wicking it wrong. No, I took everybody's advice. I sent messages and went on frickin' forums and sent fucking Pony Express letters to California asking people what their opinions were on what I'm doing wrong with wicking. I tried every single technique and mine just leaked. I had juice that it wouldn't come out of the airflow like I didn't wick it enough or something.
Right.
It was coming from under the airflow and out of the 510 connection. There was something wrong in the deck design of the original Kylin. They have completely fixed that. It's gone now. And
I didn't even buy the original. At
Yeah.
the time that came out, I really wasn't into RTAs
right,
yet.
and that wasn't one I was willing to recommend to someone to get into RTAs.
But I did use this for just a little bit of time just to play with it and get familiarize myself with it. And yeah, he's absolutely right. It leaks worse than whatever it was that went into Flint's Michigan water supply. I'm just saying, it's awful.
Yeah.
It was just
It's
not
like
good.
every time you fill the tank, you just freaking Niagara
and it's
Falls.
sad because you get a great vape.
The vape was so good.
You get a great vape.
It just couldn't keep it from leaking. So anyway, in comes the Kylin Mini. When I saw that they were releasing a new version of the Kylin, I didn't even care that it was only single coil. I just was like, I'm going to have to try it. I've kind of switched gears to where I'm preferring single coil RTAs right now.
Single coil RTAs work great because for someone like you and even someone like me, I am just starting to warm up to actually taking RTAs on the road with me. You know, and it works great with a single coil because once again, lower wattage, more battery life, same great flavor.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. So. And that brings us right into the pros and cons list with this thing, man. Cons for me is a very, very short list. I wish they had brought the screws in the opposite direction. Yeah. Because they come in on the pointy side of like an alien. I've got one of my aliens in here right now. He's actually using the coil that it came with. Which surprisingly, good job, Vandy Vape. Thank you, Vandy Vape, for including a pre-made coil in the package that doesn't blow ass. As much as we love the things that Watofo's putting out right now, their coils they're including with everything are awful. Yeah. Don't let every other reviewer fool you. Those coils are bad. It's a machine-fed coil. Right, what can you really... Anyway, I wish the screws came the other way just so they didn't booger up your leads. But as long as you keep your coiling rod or your screwdriver or whatever you're using in the coil as you tighten it down. You said rod. I did say rod. As long as you keep that in there while you tighten the screws down, it's not going to jack your coil up too much. So it's easy to overcome that. I have to mention that as a con. Simple build deck. The build deck is wonderful. This kind of... It kind of started the whole half pipe thing that a lot of other people are going with now, and I get it because the airflow is just it encompasses amazing. The entire coil. Yeah, and you don't have airflow only hitting the bottom. You don't have airflow only hitting the sides. You don't have airflow only coming in from the top. It's kind of just circling the whole thing, and it just the flavor that comes off of that is kind of like your mom good. Engulfs your personal life. Yeah, yeah. Figure that one out. I can't even say mother-in-law because that's where that would normally go because my mother-in-law is awesome. But anyway. I have a pretty cool mother-in-law. But yeah, the airflow I think on this thing is genius. That's another big thing as opposed to the original Kylin. The original Kylin, the airflow clicked into place. It clicked 4 times. But it was missing a click. It was missing a click because all the way open was too much. Click down once was too much. Click down twice was not enough. It needed one right in the middle and it just didn't have that. This has no clicks. The O-rings are very, very stiff on my airflow control ring. His are a little bit looser. They're not real hard to turn. Mine are a lot. Yeah, see, I just unscrewed my RTA off my mod, but I know where I like it, so I set it and I leave it, and it is what it is. Well, let's face it. I mean, it's Vandy Vape. Vandy Vape has had a past with O-rings that are not exactly... They can't figure out a middle ground there. Sometimes they're not good enough. Sometimes they're a little too... Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that could be considered a con, I guess. The O-rings are a little tight on mine. But again, they're not bad on his. So. No, they work pretty good on here. But yeah, I wish there was some kind of retaining thing like the original Kylin had for your wicks, so you didn't have to just kind of lay it in there and then use juice to glue it down. But that's a nitpicky thing. It's not a hard RTA to wick, but it's still one of those you have to kind of figure out where you want your wicks to go. You're gonna have to damp them to kind of glue them up a little bit, to have them glue themselves basically to that. And you don't want too much because it won't wick. Right. But if you have too little, it'll just flood and everything else. Now that is one thing I can honestly say is I've had this for probably 2 months. I have used it every single day since I got it out of the box. Unless I'm testing another tank of some kind, which we haven't really been doing tanks, this goes to work with me every single day. There's been a couple times where I've wicked it a little too tight to where it would go dry on me. So, you got to be a little bit careful. I thin my wicks out. I've never wicked it loose enough to where it leaks on me. I get no juice coming out from the airflow control ring or the 510 or anywhere. You get a little bit of condensation, but that's an RTA thing. It is what it is.
Condensation goes on everything. Vandy Vape uses another fucking gold ring. Why? Why must we have the gold ring? I've said it before, I say it now. I don't want to get jiggy with it. I don't.
It just breaks up the look of the whole thing. I love the black tank, and I've got a blue hexome and a blue drip tip, and it looks so good. And then there's that damn gold ring, and I just don't know why.
It's such a fucking eyesore.
I get it. The deck is completely gold plated. I get it. But there's got to be a way to not show that gold ring.
Couldn't we just put like? Couldn't there be like a ring inside around the deck that's just like silver or something?
I don't know.
I mean, it's an eyesore. It does not affect the vaping.
No.
And I know it's a really nitpicky thing, but guys, come on. That was my biggest bitch on the Bonza was that damn gold ring. And one of my biggest bitches on this is the damn gold ring.
Yep.
It's just
please, Vandy Vape.
It's staring at me, laughing at me.
Stop making everything
Go ahead.
gold.
I'm going to be here for the next one, too.
Right,
Fuck you, gold ring.
I hope you like me because I'm coming back.
Yeah, it's like that guy that just, you're friends with him, but it's like, dude, I don't want to be. Why are you here?
See, to me, it's not. To me, it's like that guy that as soon as he walks in the room, doesn't even have to say anything. You're just pissed off. As soon as you see him, you're just pissed off.
You walk in the room, you're just like, fuck.
Anyway, so yes, the gold ring definitely goes on the cons list.
Bubble glass. Little thin.
I broke mine.
Little thin.
I had this for probably 3 weeks, and I went to take it off to clean it, and it cracked right up the middle. Now, thankfully,
you should have been there for the call, guys. I got it. I thought maybe like he scratched his knee riding his bike or something because it was like and it just broke. Like
Tourette's syndrome just happening. Word vomit coming out of my mouth. But thankfully, my V Pro, and this is not an advertisement for my V Pro. They make acrylic bubble glasses and drip tips. I don't have the drip tip with me right now, but we were at ECC Detroit. Vandy Vape was there. I asked the Vandy Vape guy, dude, please, what can I do to get a spare bubble glass? And he's like, here, we have these my V Pro ones.
Now, keep something in mind when they have a bunch of different colors. It's kind of weird because some of them like are almost solid, and it's like, okay, no offense, it looks awesome, but
you can't see your juice. Yeah,
it's kind of tarnished.
That's not on Vandy Vape at all.
No,
that's
it's not.
On Kylin.
It's just a weird thing.
I just happened to buy one that's kind of clear and has blue streaks in it, and then like 3 weeks later, I bought a blue hexome, and it looks amazing. So
that's right.
I didn't even do that on purpose, but it worked.
Yeah. Like I said, the drip tip on it's really good. I mean,
comes with 2 different drip tips, and I like them both. It comes with, he's got one from something else on here right now from Vandy Vape, but it comes with an acrylic one. I have the acrylic one that came on my wife's because it matched my hexome. The black one comes with a red drip tip, like every black thing comes with now.
I just thought the clear looked cool.
Yeah, and then it comes with a black Delrin one that has ridges in it, and I really like that drip tip. It's comfortable. The lit came with 2 of those. It came with a black one and this clear one. So that's something Vandy Vape's doing, and I like those drip tips. Thank you for that, Vandy Vape.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I stole the blue one off of my wife's. I bought my wife a Kylin Mini because she loved the way it vaped too. So
you might as well basically figure on probably spending like $10 on something like that because guess what?
Yeah.
This is thin. It's a very good possibility it's going to break. If you drop this, the way it protrudes, it's going to hit
And I didn't even drop mine. The O-ring that holds it to the top when you take the deck off is so tight and thick that I was just trying to pull it off there to clean it, and I was cleaning it and it went off.
Yeah.
That's yeah. So anyway,
that's how your wife got pregnant, right?
Yeah, twins. But yeah, flavor is out of this world. I love the flavor on this.
The flavor on this is pretty damn good for an RTA.
I have cream vapor.
You have cream?
I have cream, yeah. Yeah, this thing is cream filled right now. Orange cream, and oh my god, the flavor is so good.
I've been vaping some of this Blastberry in this lately. Obviously, this flavor is so good that it can get through anything, but the flavor is just exactly what I expect.
Yeah.
Like you know us, when we test these RTAs and RDAs, we always use flavors that we're very familiar with. We know what they're supposed to taste like, and I know what that's supposed to taste like, and this is just berry blazing in my face like, oh man, I'm going to end up on Tumblr.
It's like berry bukkake.
I'm going to end up on Tumblr because of it, I'm just saying. Like look at it. Anyway, so yeah, I prefer the bubble glass. That's 5 mils. The standard glass is 3.
Yes,
and unfortunately 3 mils is just not enough.
I love that companies are doing the bubble glass thing now, because the original Kylin, if you remember, shorty glass was 2 mil, tall glass was 5 mil, but it was like 5 millimeters taller, and it looked horrible and everything. But I like that they're doing bubble glass now instead of extension glasses, because I just think it looks better and whatever. But keep in mind the glass is a little bit on the brittle side.
It is. I like on the bubble glass, and this isn't just standard to this, but it almost feels like the bubble glass like amplifies the emblems on the inside. It did it with the Bravo too, and I just think it makes it look nice.
And I really like Vandy Vape's branding in here. It's
simple.
It's simple, and it looks.
Let you know what it is.
Kind of Star Warsy. The Kylin logo.
The Rebel.
Yeah.
The Rebel Alliance.
Yeah. But anyway, we were not sent these. We bought these. I have bought 2 of them now. He's bought 1. I would recommend this to almost anyone looking for an RTA. Maybe not as your first RTA, just because the postless deck and pre-cutting your leads can get a little confusing.
I guess the Serpent SMM could be almost a simpler deck to build on
if you're not used to building on RTAs. If you're used to building on RTAs, then this thing is no problem.
I mean, the flavor's unparalleled, guys. Yeah. That's basically what it's going to come down to. The fact that it's got amazing flavor.
For a single coil.
Yeah, for single coil.
Yeah.
I mean, it holds 5 mils of juice. It's not a super in-your-face hot vape.
No.
But no RTA vape is, but it's a very nice warm vape.
It can handle some power. If you do the Ohm's Law math right now, I'm vaping this at about 75 watts, and it's not going dry on me, and it's not overpoweringly hot. It's a comfortable, very flavorful
65
vape.
watts on my Minikin Reborn, and this thing's vaping like a fucking champ.
Yeah, so it can handle a little bit of power. And yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a gush fest, because I can already tell you, unless something else just comes out that's better, this will be my RTA of the year for this year.
At least
100%.
Single coil.
No, just period.
I think single coils work great for like just traveling.
Yeah,
just because
I don't
the battery life out of them.
I can vape this all day, and my long days at work are about 12 and a half, 13 hours. I can vape this all day, and I fill it about 4 times. I have other tanks that I fill like 8 or 9 times.
Yeah, it doesn't drink juice as bad as I would expect it to.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's solid. It's a solid RTA. Beard approved.
All day long.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Am I going to buy another one? No, probably not, just because I already have one. But if for some reason I had to buy another one, I wouldn't mind if I'm looking for an RTA.
They're not expensive.
No,
you can pick these up for $35, right in that area is kind of the going price. This dickhead had the opportunity to buy one at ECC for $25 and passed on it.
But it was gold.
Yeah, they only had a gold one. I'll let you pass on that.
If it wasn't gold, I would have bought it, but it was gold.
That one was like, gold ring, I see your gold ring.
I'm about to say, I see your gold ring and I raise you, fucker. You know, that is definitely a dealer at the craps table right there.
Yeah, I have already purchased 2, and if I were to break or lose mine, I would 100% go right and buy another one.
I'm going to have to buy the acrylic just because it looks awesome.
I dig that. If you guys have one, check out the, and again, we're not affiliated. I don't care if you buy one or not, but just the MyVPro acrylic tanks look really nice on this. So, yeah.
So, all things considered, guys.
It's a win for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10.
I'm giving the Kylin Mini a 9 out of 10, just because nothing's perfect, and but I love this thing very, very much.
I just can't get over the ring, the gold ring. That's my biggest
It would be a 9.5 without the gold ring, for sure.
I give the gold ring to Ducks 2 stars automatically from me. Anyway, but that's going to be about it for the Kylin. But we're on all the social media, guys, so check it out. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's all at inbetween2beards.
Yep.
One word, number 2. And if you wanted to contact us professionally or just drop a line and say, what up, beards, that's fine too. Email is inbetween2beards@gmail.com. Feel free to write. And I think until next video,
Vape on, guys.
Vape on.